What's going on, Goon Squad? No fancy intro this week. We're just going to get right after it. Look, I hope you guys had a great week last event, and even the last week in general. UFC aside, I hope you had a great week. We are back in action. We'll be in Vegas this weekend for the year-end event. I will be there. I would love to see you. If you're going to be there, hit me up. I have revived the old Twitter account, or X as it is now called, at Punchlist MMA. You can hit me up on there. Slide into my DMs. I will let you know where I'm at. And man, I would just, if you want to, I'd love to, shake your hand, bro, hug it out if you want to. It's whatever. It's whatever. If you support the show or not, if you're a covert government assassin, now's your chance. I'm going to be in Vegas. I'm telling you where I'll be. You can come find me there. No big deal. Let's see what's what, right? But I will be there all weekend, and I look forward to meeting you if that's something you want to do. If not, that's fine too, right? Got to shake hands and meet a couple folks at the event in May in Jersey. And there were some misconnections there. There were some people we tried to get together and we just couldn't get, for one reason or another, just couldn't make it happen. But, Vegas might be different. Maybe Vegas is where we rewrite history. So I will be there. If you want to get together, shoot me an email, chat at Punchlist MMA, or hit me up on X at Punchlist MMA. Slide into the old DMs and let me know what's up. I'd be happy to get with you this weekend. And yeah, for sure. I'm not going to have a bunch of swag and stuff like I did at the May one. I'm not bringing any extra t-shirts or stickers or anything like that. I'm just, coming in for violent festivities and to see Colby Covington capture that undisputed welterweight championship of the world. Now, full disclosure, I was playing the MMA math game for about a year now, and thought this would be the Conor return event. So I, kind of pushed all my chips into the center of the table of that happening. Clearly, that's not going to happen, but this does segue into the great conspiracy that I have had and that you guys have known that I've had for a long time now, that Colby Covington will become the undisputed welterweight champion of the world this Saturday night, and then Conor will not fight Michael Chandler. He was never going to. We've said that for years now. He was never going to fight Michael Chandler. They will allow Conor to jump the line and attempt to become the only three-division champ in UFC history. They will give us Conor versus Colby at 170 pounds, because Conor ain't making 155. He might be able to make 170. They might even give it to us in Croker Park. They might give it to us in Wembley. I'm not sure, but it'll probably be a UK card, and it will most definitely be Conor versus Colby for the 170 strap. We have been reading the scrolls for years now and said that this was coming, and this is how it comes to fruition. Conor skips. Colby versus Conor is the super fight to make. It's really the only super fight. When Dana alluded to there's only one really super fight we could make at this point, you thought he was talking about somebody that wasn't booked for a fight already. And he kind of was, but he also was doing the MMA math. The only super fight that is available right now that they could possibly book would be an undisputed champion in Colby Covington versus Conor McGregor. That's the one. Sorry for all my Diaz versus Poirier guys. That ain't it. That ain't it. John Jones versus Yuri, folks. Nope. That's, or I don't know if anybody said that. I just kind of just verbally vomited that one up. I don't think that'd be a very good fight. This is the one. Colby versus Conor. Somewhere on the other side of the ocean for my stateside folks. It does billions. Maybe not billions, but it becomes easily the biggest pay-per-view in UFC history if that's the case. A full press tour like we saw with Aldo versus Conor would absolutely be necessary. Let those two go at it. Not that there's even any animosity between them, but you know that the emotions that both of those sides evoke would be second to none. It's the only fight to make, and it's foretold in the scrolls. Punchlist has preached this for years now. Maybe not years, but probably close to 2 years. So I guess we'll say years. We've been the ones calling this. We're ahead, man. We're ahead. Everybody else is playing catch up. We are the chess to all these other MMA podcasts. Checkers. It's really just the way that it is. Okay? So, last week, profitable week. Barely, again, this is where unit management comes into play. Barely profitable, but another green week. Another green week. No complaints. Look, green is green. I ain't mad at it at all. So hopefully you took some plays. Your units maybe didn't necessarily have to match mine 1 for 1, tit for tat, and all that. But if you laid it out correctly, boom, you went out green. That's back-to-back green weeks. 3 out of the last 4. And I mean, we could go deeper into it, but 10 out of the last 14 we're up big in the green. So it's been fantastic. So let's run over some plays real quick. Oh, let's recap what hit, what did not. Okay. We went bit. We were all over. We had a Tatsura Taira and a bunch of parlay props that you may or may not be able to play. I went Taira by submission. Absolute nightmare scenario there. Hunts for the submission in round 1. Gets the takedown in round 2 and sides. I'm not going to try to tap this guy out. I'm just going to punch him till the referee stops. Even though the sub was there, or he could have gotten it eventually, decided to take the path of least resistance, which is always something that you have to account for when you've got those guys that realistically, they have such a strong ground advantage. Position over submission sometimes equals ground and pound finishes. So Taira by submission, that was a play that did not hit. However, fight doesn't go to decision was essentially free money. Really probably should have loaded up on that and did not. But that prop hit. Jung Young Park, Andre Muniz. Jung Young Park lost a split decision. Andre Muniz, I know this sounds oxymoronic when we're talking about fighting. Andre Muniz just fought that fight to not lose. He had no interest in winning the fight. He just held on to him and did nothing. That being said, Jung Young Park didn't really do much either, other than let his hands go in the few brief instances that Andre Muniz gave him. However, it's not Muniz's problem that Jung Young Park had no ability to get Muniz off of him. So hats off to Muniz backers. I know Jung Young Park was a pretty popular play amongst the MMA capping community, which is usually a giant freaking red flag, right? Whenever all of us are saying, oh yeah, Park's where it's at. There's a phone ringing in my house, and I'm the only person here. That's very strange. Standby 1. I'm going to go see where, if I got a government agent in my house and there's a phone ring. Hang on. That was very weird. Very, very weird. I don't know where that came from. I don't really understand that. Where were we at? That was strange. Let's see here. Am I losing my mind? Is that possible? And what else hit? Nasrat Haqparast over Jamie Malarkey. Easy money. Easy money. So all in all, came out green on the weekend. Not too bad. So, like I said already, if you guys don't already follow along at betmma.tips, it's a website. There's 5,000 plus cappers on there. Everybody posts their picks. It tracks it, sees who's profitable, see who's not. And then it ranks us all categorically on ROI versus total units won and all these other things like that. It's a great way to not only glean information as far as how people bet, betting trends, and where the public is leaning, but also there's a lot of very sharp folks out there, of which I am chief among. And, I'm not number one on the leaderboard yet, but it's because there's been people there that have been there for years. So just give us time over the same sample size, right? We will easily usurp these goons. It just takes time. So follow along at betmma.tips. You can see how I scale into these plays unit-wise. Doesn't mean it's right for you. Just means that's what I do. It'll let you know what my units are. It'll let you know how profitable I was based on how I bet my units. And then you can use that and scale your plays accordingly if you are going to follow or fade, right? It's a great opportunity. And if you're looking for me, all you got to do is go to the leaderboard. Like I said, right now there are 5,959 handicappers on there. And if you go to 62nd place, you will see the Punchlist MMA podcast. That's where we are at. So I'm looking forward to getting these next 5 plays on the docket, because currently, as it stands right now, total plays submitted through this website, 666. So we got to get past this, right? So we got to roll some of these through. All right. So let's talk about real quick. Let's run through money line leans. I'm going to just spit them all off, and then I'll go back and I'll tell you my plays for this week. Okay. So Muslim Salikov, money line lean. Martin Boudet, lean. Andre Feely, lean. Cody Durden, lean. Dustin Jacoby, lean. Casey O'Neill, Brian Kelleher, Irene Aldana, Josh Emmett, Vicente Luque, Paddy Pimblett, Shavkat Pantoja, Colby Covington. That's a whole hell of a lot of plus money. Keep in mind, we are at a live event. Not only that, high stakes live event, a packed card live event, and it's the year end. They don't throw 15, 14 fights on it if they don't think there's a high propensity for finishing, because the last thing that the UFC wants is an event that's paced like the PFL. That's the last thing they want. So finishes will come early and often this event. So get ready for them. Let's talk about fights that potential to end inside the distance. Ready? Dustin Jacoby, Alonzo Menafield. Casey O'Neill, Ariana Lipsky. Brian Kelleher, Cody Garbrandt. Ian Gary, Vicente Luque. Shavkat Rakhmonov, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Colby Covington, Leon Edwards. Those are my picks for fights to end inside the distance. I think we're going to get those 6 fights to end inside the distance. Those are the ones I think. So let's talk about plays. Let's talk about plus money that you should consider this weekend. First and foremost, Brian Kelleher. Fight IQ, non-existent. But he hits like a truck, and he's got that brick head. Cody Garbrandt fights scared. The chin is gone. Brian Kelleher looking to make a name. Brian Kelleher needs to win this fight. I think it's a loser gets cut, to be honest with you. I think it's a loser gets cut. Brian Kelleher knocks out Cody Garbrandt. I know I picked what's his face? Oh my gosh, Trevin Jones? I picked him over Cody Garbrandt. That was a bad read. Kelleher's ready to bang now. Boom boom, gonna get it rocking for us. Plus 165. Next one, Josh Emmett, friend of the show. Is he a friend of the show? Yes. Is there a little bit of bias there? Also, yes. However, Josh Emmett, poor man's Ilia Topuria, minus the jiu-jitsu, and Ilia Topuria beat the shit out of Bryce Mitchell like Mitchell owed him money and had been talking about his girlfriend. I don't think Bryce Mitchell goes out there and executes on Josh Emmett the way he did against Dan Ige. I really don't think he does. I think Josh Emmett hits too hard. I think Josh Emmett's wrestling is fundamentally sound enough. I think Josh Emmett can get it done here. Now, Josh Emmett's old. Josh Emmett, always gets in firefights, always gets cracked, always swells up. He's always bleeding. But I think Josh Emmett can beat Bryce Mitchell. All the skills are there. Bryce Mitchell submitting Josh Emmett would be unheard of. So probably what's going to happen. But I like Josh Emmett there. All right, next one. Vicente Luque over Ian Gary. I think we finally have our Ian Gary fade spot. I think we do. I think there's enough going on in the world. Ian Gary's head's just fucked up enough. He's fighting a dude that has no interest in taking him down. They're going to stand there and bang. You know what, dude? I'll take the silent assassin. I'm going to take him. Yeah, he has not looked like the silent assassin of old. I understand that. But, dude, we're getting plus 300 on Vicente Luque, who's a certified killer, a guy that we know is a certified killer. And he has jiu-jitsu if he wants to use it. He just never does. I'll take it. I'll take it. Potential plus money spot. Potential plus money spot. Okay? All right. Colby Covington. Colby Covington at plus money, sure. Why not? Okay, let's just talk about it. I think skill for skill, ounce for ounce, I think Colby Covington's a better fighter than Leon Edwards. Sure. Colby Covington money line is something I'm looking at, but here's the thing. I'm just going to be completely honest here. Leon Edwards by knockout, really, really, really juicy at plus 375. I think that's Leon's path to victory, to be honest with you. I like my heart wants Colby to win, right? And my brain thinks he's capable of it. But the voice in the back of my skull says Edwards is going to spark him in the third round. Second or third round, Edwards sparks him. I don't know why. I don't know why, right? I'm using my Trump hands here. You can't see it. I'm using Trump hands. My fingers are splayed out to the side. I'm doing the in and out. I don't know why, but I feel like that's just where I'm at. So Edwards in round 2 plus 1,000. Edwards in round 3 plus 1,400. I will be throwing the smallest of sprinkles there. Edwards wins inside the distance plus 255. Edwards by KO, TKO plus 375. I'm talking about maybe quarter unit plays on all of those, right? Like give me all 4, a quarter unit on each one. So I'm all in 1 unit total, even if Colby goes out there and loses. Or I'm sorry, even if Colby goes out there and wins, I'm still going to come out roses because I'm going to play Colby for an offsetting amount. It's kind of where I'm feeling. It's kind of how I'm feeling I'm going to approach this one. So, really just hunting with a shotgun here, just chucking some bird shot out there. That's where I'm at. All right. Co-main event, Alexander Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. Pantoja is at a minus 190 inexplicably. I really feel like he should be a bigger favorite than that. Not really sure what's going on with the Royval side there. Maybe just because he's so sporadic and crazy and doesn't give up and attacks submissions from wild angles. I just think Pantoja's where it's at here. So I'm on Pantoja here. Money line, just straight out the gate, money line. Shavkat, again, position submission style like we talked about with the Tyra thing. His path to victory is that takedown, is that submission threat. But he might just get Wonderboy down and just pound him out. I hope Shavkat doesn't go out there and decide he wants to prove himself by striking with Wonderboy. I don't want that. That would be a nightmare scenario. As such, I'm just going to kind of stay away from this one, right? Prop-wise, if you're looking at it, under 2.5's minus 165. Fight ends inside the distance, minus 220. If you're on that, you're on the Shavkat side, right? I just don't think you're thinking Wonderboy goes out there and finishes him. May happen, but fight ends in rounds 1 and 2. Minus 130 is an interesting prop to look at. Wonderboy by decision plus 850 is available out there. Pretty wild stuff. Rachmanov wins by TKO in round 1 plus 625. Wins by TKO in round 2 plus 900. Wins by TKO in round 3 at plus 1,300. All those lines are available on betonline.ag. If you go there and play quarter or half unit plays on all of those, you're literally just hoping for 2 things. Wonderboy not to win and Shavkat not to win by decision. If you're doing half unit plays, regardless of round, you're coming out green. Super green. Super green. Incredible Hulk gamma ray radiation green. I love big pay-per-views because they give us tons of opportunities to make money. All right. We talked about the Brian Kelleher money line. We talked about Alexander Pantoja money line. We talked about Colby Covington money line. We're going to talk about Casey O'Neill money line. Excuse me. I understand. That's not women's science. I get it. And as much as we love Ariana Lipski on this show, she not beating Casey O'Neill. I understand Casey O'Neill's coming back off a knee injury. We haven't seen her in a while. Is she going to be in shape? You know, what's it all going to look like? This, that, and the other. Look. Give me Casey O'Neill. Give me Casey O'Neill. She's good enough. Ariana Lipski, bad on the ground. Casey O'Neill, wonderful ground and pound. I really hope we don't get a standing and striking battle. I really don't want that. Casey O'Neill already came back and fought, so this isn't her first fight back. She'll be even better. All right. I'm all about it. Give it to me. Give me Casey O'Neill, money line. And then last but not least, Andre Fili, money line, -170. Small unit play on Fili because he sometimes fails to rise to the occasion. He's got to get into the Fili flow state. If he gets into the Fili flow state, he beats Lucas Almeida. This fight should be a striker's delight. I look forward to creativity on both ends. Give me Andre Fili. Small unit in, just scaling to get it right. All right? Just scaling to get it right. Okay, so I gave you money line leans. I gave you 6 fight ends inside the distance plays. I gave you 5 plays that I'm personally playing. I gave you about a dozen props to consider. We're 22 minutes in, and I've loaded this podcast with value. I've absolutely chock full loaded it. All types of things to consider, and I hope you consider playing some of it. If you want to see my plays, everything that I'm going to be playing, feel free to follow along, betmma.tips. You guys can go there. I will have all of my plays up by the time I go wheels up in the sky at the end of the week on my way to Vegas. Like I said, I will be at the event this weekend, so if you're going to be there, hit me up on X, shoot me an email at Punchlist MMA on X, chat at punchlistmma.com via email. I would love to see you in Vegas. I will be there. Drew Dober might be there. You might get to see both of the D's together. You know what I'm saying? I've got it on good authority that the Dobes and the Dale might be somewhere together. So if you see me, you might see Dobes. So it might be a 2-for-1 thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not going to overpromise and underdeliver, but, I'm doing the whole nose touch thing. You know what I mean? The whole nose touch. So there's a great opportunity there. And look, absolutely love and appreciate you guys. It's the year-end event, so let's end with a bang. And also, real quick, while I think I said it already, if I didn't, I already have all my plays for the January Sean Strickland card. All of those are already up and available on my betmma.tips page. I put all 5 of them up there already because the lines have been moving drastically. I knew that they would get there. So as soon as the markets became available, BetDSI, BetOnline, and DraftKings are the books I use. As soon as they became available, that's where I started. I grabbed them and I put them up, and I wanted to make it. I told you guys last week they were there. If you haven't taken advantage, get there already because the lines are continuing to move in the bad direction, right? Because we try to get there as early as we possibly can. So this is the year-end event. I will do a show next week, right? Even though there's no MMA show or MMA events happening, I will do a show next week, if for nothing else, to give you guys a Christmas gift of me going on some sort of unhinged anti-government rant, if that's your deal, or whatever the case may be. Maybe just to recap the weekend in general to let you know how everything was from tip to tail. We'll do a show next week, so I'm not going to tell you Merry Christmas yet. But have a good, safe week and weekend. If you're traveling, safe travels. If you're going to see me, I can't wait. And Godspeed to you. God bless you. And I will see and talk to all of you later on. Be good to each other. Peace.